What's up, agents? Why am I doing that? What's up, agents? Jet4th here, and God, am I tired, man. I have lost a lot of sleep over a video game, and more, whatever you would want to call it, the video that I put out where I said I'm concerned about the new changes coming to The Division. The UI changes, as they would put them, but really what they're doing is changing the entire game. Now, that video went way further out than I had ever anticipated, or had a lot larger of a reach than I ever thought it would. I expected about 8,000 or 9,000 less views on it than it actually got. I mean, realistically. So there's a few things in there that I want to talk about a little bit more, if that's all right with you. Now, number one is that I never set out to be the voice of a community. Like, that's just, yuck. I don't know how I feel about that. Like I've said previously, YouTube for me, making videos was about editing and just having fun and whatever. A place to vent my frustrations, kind of like a therapy for me. But I guess the closer we get to 10,000 subscribers and whatever, I should have take it a bit more seriously, I guess, and have a little bit more a responsibility to what I say and what I do and, you know, this and that. But one thing is for sure in that video is that I kind of still stand behind what I said about everything. So we're going to talk about some comments that I got on that video and some other things and some stuff about me that you probably don't know. Well, nobody knows really. So first things first is I went back today. It's actually still up on my screen here, and I rewatched that part of the state of the game where they were explaining their UI changes or how they passed it off. And I watched it like 10 times, which it's still in my brain. I still feel the same way initially how I first, I guess, digested the information that they gave us. Is I still feel the same way about it. Like I almost want to draw a line in the sand or whatever, however you want to say it, a red line for me personally, and being like, guys, even though this has become a Division channel, this is starting to be a bit too much for me when it comes to a gamer, is you're going to take a game and change it over the course of a year, not even a year yet, but you're going to change it 3 different times. I believe this is the 4th or 3rd time, you know? Hopefully 3rd time's a charm or 4th time's a charm. I can't remember. My brain doesn't work as good as it used to. But if you're going to make all these nutty changes to the game, like, this has got to be it. This is my fine line. Because me as a YouTuber now, I guess, is that when they change the game like this and change all of the builds, your builds, my builds, it affects everybody. But as a poop tuber, it affects my builds even a lot. Well, I don't want to say it affects mine more than yours, but basically what it does on this side of the camera is it takes my whole catalog of builds that I put out for everybody, new players, old players, and whatnot, and it renders them all useless. You know? So what am I supposed to go back through all my 20, 30, 40 builds and just be like, nope, change the titles, change the thumbnails, don't bother with this. This is useless. Because that's what's happening to us on our end. Like, all of us, you know, whoever you watch, Cold Boy, Identity, Game Daddy, you name it, Patrick Wolf, all of our builds are useless. All of those videos that we spent time on promoting their game are useless now. Because regardless of them saying like, oh, you're not going to have to rebuild, we didn't, you know, but the reality of the matter is like, we're going to have to rebuild. We have to, again, because you can already see in those 2 pictures, there's a new talent, Focus, which is this, what did Hamish call it? The Nemesis Light talent. And then you're seeing Composure on, what was it, the chest piece or the backpack? I don't know. I don't have the images up right now. But that means that they're taking talents off of other pieces and putting them onto other pieces. And also, I don't think I said it in the video, but you're looking at Fenris pieces of gear, and those Fenris pieces only have 1 talent on them, not 2. Like now, there's only 1 per each. One of the things that was brought up in the comment section, actually by Game Daddy, it was like, well, the numbers in there, how did he say it? He said the numbers that are in there aren't what it's going to be. They're placeholders. A couple other comments said that this is more back to Division 1. Now, it has been a long time since I played Division 1. Long time. I re-downloaded it to take a peek at it, and I'm like, whoa, they obviously changed it a lot from the last time I played it, or, my brain is just dead to that game since whatever, I stopped playing it a while ago. I can see where the comparison is coming from, but it's still a lot different. You had your 3 main attributes at the top, or I don't know how you would want to say it, but it had armor, weapon damage, and skill power. Skill power is still completely different. And then you had your attributes, and then, I don't know. It's just, I don't see it being, I can kind of see where that comparison is coming from, but it's still, completely different. But I mean, at least that's my opinion on that part of it. It does seem kind of the direction they're trying to go, but it's completely different. Division 1 was such a complicated game that I'm glad they scaled back on that and made it a little bit more simplified. That's my personal opinion on it. Now, another comment that I got with these changes is these pansies and everybody crying, getting everything nerfed. There's no way that you can deny the fact that this entire game is out of balance, all the way from PvE to PvP. You just can't, Once they changed all the skills, you go into any mission now and unless you're running a seeker build, which I love my seeker builds, don't get me wrong, I made a lot of them. They're insanely powerful. You can trash through any heroic mission. If you got more than 2 people running a seeker build or a hardwired build, that's a breeze. It's just a cakewalk. Farm, it is what it is. And then PvP, you run into people I ran into somebody with 603 armor. It was like a 0-14-7 or something like that. 603 armor. But this dude also had an M1A on him. An M1A and it had 83,000 damage on it. My mind was blown. I'm just like, how? How do you have that much damage on your M1A with zero offensive? I was just flabbergasted at it. I was just like, how is that possible? There is no denying the fact that this game is completely, every little aspect of it is it's completely unbalanced. You can argue with me till you're blue in the face about it, but man, oof. Every aspect of this game is pretty unbalanced. No matter which way you look at it, no matter how you want to point fingers at people crying about nerfs to this or that or this, that's out of balance. Completely out of balance. Think about it when all that clan vendor hopping was going on. People have 25% to armor on their backpacks and on chest pieces, and 30% and 15% weapon damage on their chest pieces. And when have you actually seen stuff like that drop in the world? I certainly haven't. I've tried farming Murakami to get those really high armor percentiles, and highest I got was 14.5%. That's the highest I could get, and I farmed and farmed and farmed. I'm disabled. I have nothing else better to do with my life right now than to play video games and make YouTube videos, So, it is something that needs to be fixed, but they gotta fix it this time, because it's becoming too frustrating for me personally, and I know for a lot of other people too. And not to bring up Game Daddy again, but one of his previous video, he said, he's like, a lot of the people who play this game are adults. They have jobs, they have kids, they have this, there's things to do. And I really dislike seeing comments like, damn Sunday players and casuals, and it's a game. It's for everybody to play. And I do agree. Hold on, before you start comment warrioring. God damn it, dude. I swear to God, if it's you again. Now, I do agree that if you are a hardcore player and you play a lot, like, yeah, we should be rewarded. Like, definitely, you know. We should have I guess, I don't even know how to say it. Like, we should have an edge over the casual player. I guess a tiny edge. But really what the edge, I hate to say this without, you know, making it sound like I'm contradicting what I just said, but you should just be a better player than they are and know the game better and be able to take them up that way than, you know, having 600,000 armor to their, you know, I have 1,000 hours into the game. Actually, I have more than that, whatever it is now. But your edge over the other person should be that you're just that much better of a player, I guess. But I guess that also contradicts what I said about farming and our reason to farm and trying to get those higher attribute rolls and whatnot. Because it'll take the farming out of the game if everybody just gets God rolled everything. Which, on the state of the game, you heard him say it, whatever that developer's name is, the God rolls are back. And they kind of didn't really allude to exactly what it is, but then Frederick on Twitter said that 500 gear is all going to be God rolled. So once you hit 500 gear, you know, everybody's going to have the same everything, basically. Yeah. You'd maybe you'd have to farm for like 2 weeks to get all the God rolled attributes or get the exact pieces that you want. But in that state of the game, here's the thing you don't know about me. I used to be a commissioned salesman and a big time musician. I was the manager at a Sam Ash, and you know, that's like Guitar Center, but East Coast, it's whatever, different story. But I'm really good at reading people, and like I could walk up to a dude and be like, should I go get the case? And he's like, or you just see somebody screwing around and just ignore them. I guess kind of a creepy people watcher, but I'm really good at just looking at someone and be like, nah, you're a douche cake and I'd never talk to you. That's my weird superpower sixth sense trait, I guess, as I can read people. And you could tell in the state of the game that they were trying to hype it up, but they were really nervous about it. And also the fact that they called it UI changes and then kind of slipped it in under the radar, just very briefly, that they were like, this is also going to change all the mechanics of the game. Like they glossed over that. And you could see from those screenshots, regardless if the values change, which that's what they said, they were like, these are placeholders and the text changes. But then they immediately started reading off the numbers. And one of the concerns that I brought up was skill damage. And I don't think if that was not right, that they would have read it off like that, like 8% skill damage. And maybe the numeric value of what they said will change on that. But if you're going to put 8% skill damage on something, you're going to read it off. So that's a big change, because if they're going to start putting 8% skill damage into our attributes, what is that going to do to skills? Our skill mods, you name it, you know, that's kind of weird. It's very, very weird. And one of the other things that they said in there too, that he made a very, very big point on saying is, notice that all of the armor values, the base armor values, are flat. Everything was the same value. Like he made sure to say that they were all flat. So that is something that it's got to be coming into the game, because then they even, Frederick, what can we say? And he's like, just say whatever you want. So for them being on the state of the game and being the division and the community, but developers or whatever, they're being the developer and the community manager. If that's not right, then that is something that should not be said on the state of the game, right? You know, granted, yeah, some of this stuff could change, but another thing that I said, this is not a time to make this a secret. This is also something that they shouldn't have said that they were working on for a very long time and not told us, because this is stuff they need to tell us. This is stuff that should be just clear to everyone that we are redoing the game, we are fixing it, we're changing everything, and talk with us about this, because this is important. They could release this and everyone just, you know, the game, this is not something that should be kept secret. It should have been something they should have been talking about for a long time. This is probably why the raid got delayed. Most likely why the new raid got delayed. This is also why title update 7 is being delayed, which we shouldn't even have a title update 7 now. And episode 3 has been delayed because they're working on this. They're spending more time on trying to fix their stupid game than they are making new content, which I know everybody agreed on that. So I don't really know at this point. I'm like, I was sitting here last night getting ready and working out my aces and eights build to post on the video what I'm going to say, this and that, because that's how I do it. I don't script anything. I've tried to, and then I'm like, hello, my name is Gent Forth. Nobody wants to hear that. And I was like, should I be posting builds now, knowing that everything is going to be different now? There's going to be different talents, new talents, everything's changing again. Should I just ignore it and not do it? What should I do? I don't know. And I'm definitely just as frustrated with everybody else about this than anything else, you know. I never intended for this channel to go where it is, you know, or get this many subscribers or whatever. It's overwhelming. But now I also do feel like I need to be responsible for what I say and stuff like that, because I don't want to let anybody down, I guess, you know. And I don't want to be the bearer of bad news when it comes to anything, or analyze stuff like this and then it keep me awake at night and over a stupid video game, like literally. Just I don't know, man. I don't know what they're doing over here. I don't know what they're doing over there. They need to tell us about it. But State of the Game 2020, the first State of the Game that comes out, whew, it better be a good one. Better be a good one. And especially with episode 3 coming out, man, I better be big. I better not just have 2 regular missions and then the 2 season pass missions. It's got to be big, because after this, you know, they're going to try and sell us a second season pass. And I think if the season pass is like that, or the end of this season pass is like the rest of it, I don't know how many people are going to actually want to cough up any extra bucks for a year or two. You know. But either way, this is just a wait and see moment. There's nothing that we can do right now to ask them to tell us. It's just more is coming, you know. I know that people will be like, we'll use like the comment section as a place to tell the devs what you want, and the reality of it is they probably don't come to my channel or any of our channels, really, because it's pretty apparent that they don't like YouTubers unless you're like on the top tier. Because anytime I've been to the developer streams, Hamish, even the Anthony this morning, I'm like, hey, Happy New Year, how you doing? And you called me Jetta. And Hamish calls me Jeff. I'm like, really? You know, so they're obviously not paying attention to any of us. Except Buzz Lightyear or Epic Slayer. Maybe you got to have a certain subscriber number before they actually pay attention to you. So, I don't know. Maybe I don't have a big enough Twitter following. Maybe I don't have a big enough Twitch following. I don't know what it is, but either way, I'm gonna stop babbling now because I am so extremely tired. It's not even funny. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you made it this far, listening to my jargon, babble, whatever you want to call this video. I don't know. It's just good to get it out of my head because it needed to get out of my head and into the computer. So hit the old like button for me if you could, if you want. Yeah, is what it is. Subscribe and all that other junk, and I will catch you all. I keep doing a lot of this on the flip side. Peace.